Hello all. In this video, we're going to talk about uh, marketing and customer value. Well, if you ask me, this video is actually probably the most important 5 to 10 minute video in the entire semester. The main reason being everything that we're going to talk about going forward, or for that matter, whatever you heard in the last 4 or 5 videos on the material. The concept or the relationship between the modern marketing concept and the customer value is pretty much the crux of the new age marketing. It is pretty much the most integral concept that kind of merges everything that we're going to discuss or everything that we experience as customers outside. Well, what is customer value? Depends on whom you speak to. You will hear different definitions. But for me, this picture pretty much explains everything about customer value. This is taken from Christopher Payne and Ballantyne's Relationship Marketing, Creating Stakeholder Value textbook. Now, there are two primary elements to customer value. One is value to the customer, and the second is value of the customer. I repeat, one is value to the customer, and the second is value of the customer. Now, so what is value to the customer? Now, think about like a person, like you and me going and buying a car, or going and buying a house, or even pen. Right. We kind of discussed this concept earlier briefly, but now it's in depth. We all expected different value, some expectation from this product, like it has to work for X number of years. It should be scratch proof, or it should have XYZ speed in a car, or whatever. We all have certain elements of the value. So when you or I, when we buy a product and pay for something, our set expectations in our mind is, okay, this is what it has to have, and that is the value to me. One example I can give you is like when I first bought my car, I spent a crap load of money on it, and within a week I was like stranded in a gas station that the car doesn't start at all, right? And spent over $70,000, and the car is completely stranded. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with this? I was totally mad about it, right? I did not expect that from a new car. On top of it, I spent a hell lot of money. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And that is when I lodged a complaint, because for me, I did not get the value that I'm supposed to get from it. So when I paid so much money, I expected something from that particular product. So that is my expected value from that product. When I did not get it, I was mad about it. So I started complaining about it. Now, this is a concept of value to the customer. There are three main types of value people expect. One is the basic utility. So for me, the car has to run from point A to point B. It shouldn't stop in the middle of a gas station, or in the middle of a road or a gas station. Let's say that is the basic value. That is the utility value that I'm expecting from the product. And the second value that I'm expecting from the product is the brand value. The brand value is from which I want people to recognize the brand, saying that, wow, that's a nice brand that he's driving. And for me, it is more of confidence that if I buy a car of this brand, it will not break down. So, for example, my wife believes Hondas are the best, and doesn't matter, every time she's going to look at a Honda. So for her, that is the brand value. Even if they come up with a crappy product, probably she'll end up buying. That's a sad part about it. Third type of value the customer expects from the organization is a relationship value. The relationship value is not like an objective assessment as the utility value, or a subjective assessment as a brand value. This is a little bit beyond that, right? A relationship value is like, I want my company to recognize me. or I want to trust the company. So they have to take on activities that are in confidence. So many a times you will, if you have a car, you will see recall notice, or the dealership actually calls you saying that, hey, there is something going on in your car. We want to, we want you to bring it, check it. Or when I go for a service, I'm treated well, or I get a loan or free, whatever. All these aspects are relational concepts. Now, I'm not saying that every purchase that we make are going to have all these three elements of value to the customer. In some, for some products, one of these element or two of these elements are at much major proportion than the other one. An example is, think about buying sugar in a grocery store. What are you expecting from it? All you're worried about is the basic utility. Do you really care if it's a great value brand of Walmart or Pillsbury or whatever brand, whatever other brand? You may not care for it, right? Because it's just a sugar. It's the same, made of sugar cane, and it should taste the same technically. So for in that particular scenario, the only the utility value, the first component of the value, is at a much is the significant portion than the other two. For them, they won't be any relationship at all, right? Why the heck you want to have a relationship with the sugar, like sugar brand? Uh, Now, for aeroplanes, like for air travel, you will have utility value, you will have brand value. I'm pretty sure you don't want to fly in Ram Air because you're not even sure if you're going to land properly. There will be some brand value, and there is a significant portion of relationship value in an air travel because of the miles and all those concepts, sky miles, rewards, and all this. That gives us a segue into rewards. Rewards, sky miles. All these concepts are the ways to enhance the relationship value that people are getting, or consumers or customers are getting from the company. The other side is the value of the customer. Now, the critical relationship is only when a customer is getting value from the company, meaning only if value to the customer is high, then the value of the customer will also high. Now, what is the value of the customer? The money that you're paying for using a product, or having a product, or getting a service, is value of the customer. The money, the amount that you're paying. Apart from the money, the loyalty that you're going back and buying is also value of the customer. Now, if I'm an organization, if I have 100 customers the last past year, and if 30 of them are going to repeatedly buy, that has increased value. That is a higher and increased value than the other 70 who doesn't buy from me again, right? So the value of the customer is very much high. It becomes the total value of the company, because that is the overall potential down the line. Now, both these concepts, both these kind of concepts will become part of lifetime value analysis. We're going to talk more about lifetime value analysis in the next coming weeks, and this is not the time. Now, these are the four concepts that kind of the value delivery process, the value chain, core competencies, central roles of strategic planning. Please go through the slides and the expanded slides, and also the textbook, to get a grasp of it. But they are all straightforward, and these are the four ways the relationship between marketing and customer value is being integrated or envisaged. I'm going to quickly talk about the value delivery process, one of the four things that we just saw. Now, there are three ways the value delivery process gets on roll. One is choosing the value, providing the value, and communicating the value. As simple as the word, I know they're pretty straightforward. It's as simple as the word speak. Is every organization must choose the value that they're providing, whether it is economy, whether it's service, whether it's reliability, whether it's price consciousness. They have to set the value, and importantly, they need to provide the value. If they don't provide what they are choosing to deliver, It doesn't make any sense, and they will not sustain down the line. Then the most important in this page is to communicating the value. Fine, you're creating a product and thing and with an expectation that I want to deliver a product with 10 years of proper uh, zero maintenance car or zero maintenance refrigerator, like 10 years. Now, when you're choosing that as your value proposition, providing is one side, but how in the world the customers are going to know about it? You need to communicate that. That's where the comes. If you see nowadays, you see some of the cars coming up with a 10 years powertrain warranty. Well, that is kind of communicating that value that they are going to provide, communicating the value that an organization believes is the primary delivery that they are going to get, customers are going to get from the company, has to be communicated. Hope that clears the key relationship between marketing and customer value. Any questions? Shoot me an email. Have fun.